Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly super marshal today, because today we are editor-in-chief. Because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Pinnacle Entertainment's outstanding Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, and we are making use of their terrific Superpowers Companion to play a campaign featuring Canada's premier super team, the Guard. I will say as well, at the time of recording, this weekend, they just released the first promo PDFs for the new Necessary Evil box set. So there are some terrific new resources you've got, including a bunch of new sample characters. There are 4 major adventures. 3 of them are in the 170 to 200 page range. It's really fucking cool stuff. So if you are enjoying the Savage Supers stuff and you're looking for more content to read or whatnot, the pre-release for Necessary Evil, the updated versions, and the addition of the space, the cosmic version, are all out now. With me tonight, or today, not tonight, are the stars of the Guard. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert, and I'm playing Bouclier. He's a relatively normal guy who has big folds of skin, but when he's hit, he basically gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we haven't quite discovered how big he can get yet.
Nice. So, you ever read anything about the Living Monolith?
I haven't, but I should look into that.
I believe it's the one of the first Marvel graphic novels is the Living Monolith, and it's got I think it's Brent Anderson who does the art for it, which is I think it's either that or Neil Adams, or it's just Brent Adams looking a lot like Neil Adams. But it features a character called the Living Monolith, who was also called the Living Pharaoh at one point. Good cautionary tale, gorgeous art. You know what? It actually might be Mark Silvestri art. Now I think of it. It's either he did that or he did Planet Doom, and I'm confusing the two. But in any event, next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Cygnus, the Dark Star of the North. He is a power armor character whose focus is on black holes and gravity and things of that nature.
Nice. I'm mostly trying to avoid summoning it.
No, I fixed that.
You think.
And last, but certainly not least, is John.
Hey everyone, I'm John, and I'm playing a guy named Blaine Staunton, but he's also known as the Warlock, and he is kind of a cross between Doctor Strange and Harry Dresden.
Very nice. And because it's driving me nuts, I'm looking up the who the artist was for Revenge of the Living Monolith.
Oh, Revenge of the Living Monolith.
Yeah, that's what the graphic novel is called.
Okay.
I just realized I had a dream about Doctor Strange when you said that.
It's Mark Silvestri. Yeah, it's Mark Silvestri who did the art for it. But that's
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, he
find later.
Absorbs cosmic power. Like, here is, yeah. In retrospect, probably not the most appropriate, but there's him taking down one of the Twin Towers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the guys, this is issue 5 of the Guard. So I will record what you guys have played. What happened last time?
The introduction of Warlock to the game is issue number 4.
Yeah.
He was seeking some sea trolls. Yes. He was seeking some sea trolls that had stolen stuff from a museum, and he summarily dealt with them, and then met up with the rest of the group to pursue their current mission.
Nice. All right. Anything else you guys recall from last time? We did see. I rewatched the session, and there were a couple of very interesting developments that I remember now. Like, for instance.
Yeah.
I was trying to segue into like Will or the other guys.
Yeah. Cygnus is because last week was when we got back to the museum after the
Yeah, you met with Warlock, and you guys did a bit of chatty and planning, and then you got a call from the museum.
After a number of warnings about, hey, you guys should probably go back and check it out.
And after finding out that the Wendigos were sipping on their soul energy.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went back, and one of the professors that we had talked to, one of the curators, was severely injured, and so Mind Warp took him to the hospital.
Yep.
And Cygnus had a conversation with Singularitas, and then ended up almost killing Warlock accidentally.
That was my own fault.
Yeah, well, he takes responsibility for it. Cygnus is really growing up. He's really he's learning about the great power, great responsibility. He's finally figuring that out.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember specifically too much after that. I want to say at the end of the session, didn't we meet with what's his name?
Eric von Fader?
Eric Fader.
No,
yes.
You guys talked about doing so, but there was a couple of other things that happened as well. Warlock had a bit of a strange interaction with that thing in your chest.
Yes, I tried to figure out what it was and invoked some sorcery to see into it. And I had after I was summarily knocked unconscious and Boucher caught me, and not kept me from cracking my head open, I shared a vision with you guys of like a black sun, the city in ruins, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And there was a 4-armed armored figure with a singular red eye on it as well. I'm sure that doesn't portend anything poorly. There was also something that Singularitas mentioned to Cygnus.
Yeah, join them or help bring it about, I think. Something like that. Don't fight it.
Do you recall a reference to the Terminus Herald?
Yeah. In fact, I wrote this stuff down. I think. I think I wrote it down. Terminus Herald, yeah. Open the gate. Harbinger of the Alpha and Omega. Be the bridge.
That's it.
Yep.
I got stuff. Be the bridge. I don't want to be the bridge.
I need to work on a very good anti-possession spell for the Cygnus guy here.
Then, is anything else you guys recall? Or is that everything?
We discussed some things about this Eric guy, how he's very old, probably related to the Norse mythology.
Yeah, he was cursed by Odin, is what you'd heard.
And that there's, I think we narrowed down a location in the bay that we're going to go visit, or near the bay.
In Hudson's Bay, you mean?
Yes.
Churchill, yeah.
Churchill, yeah.
So, yes, I think what we talked, we ended with you guys discussing the importance of going to see Eric von Fader, and we ended with the reveal of what he looks like. So then I think what we'll start this issue with are that completes our Jim Shooter summary. And I'm going to bring us back to Raven's Crag, where we can talk about what you guys have done. Get rid of you guys here and get your new tokens down. Boom. How are you guys planning on getting contact? Dr. Caliburn has once again has done his disappearing act, and Mind Warp. Jeff posted some stuff in Discord where he had left basically behind a conspiracy board and has disappeared for a time. So, what are you guys thinking?
think opening up, you'll see a Warlock in like kind of a meditation trance. As he spent his advancement on boosting his vigor.
Nice. So he's got his one stat bonus.
Because that was brutal. More vigor needed.
And when I get the next level, I'm going to be upping my athletics because that's not working very well so far.
Yep.
But I already used that on something else. So yeah, what are we going to do? So the Wendigo are no longer an immediate issue. I think we need to track down the we need to track down the guy who got the compass, but we have no leads on that other than going to what we think might be some sources of information. So there's Von Fader. What do you guys think?
What are you guys trying to learn here? That might be, if you figure out what your goal is, that might help you figure out how you need to get there.
Well, ultimate goal is to figure out what the heck they actually want with the compass.
What was Von Fader's, just to remind everyone, Von Fader's connection to the compass?
I think he was there when it went someplace before. You might be familiar with the compass and what its purpose is. Yeah,
one thing that Mind Warp found in the records of the Hudson's Bay Company was that there was a man named Eric who sounded very much like Canada's Steve Jobs, in that he sponsored this operation. You also know that the Von Fader, or not Von Fader, but the compass itself was crafted by John Dee, or at least has his mark on it, who should have been dead for at least a century by the time the Nonsuch made its voyage into Hudson's Bay. You also know that it has runic markings on it in addition to the markings of D.
Yeah, that reminds me, the items the sea trolls were trying to steal were stones with runic markings on them as well that were potentially used for opening gates between planes. Interesting.
There were also Cygnus had learned of what do you call it, of thefts in museums across Canada as well.
Right.
That's what triggered us to go to the museum last session.
Yeah.
We need to get a hold of this.
No, the reason you went to the museum was because there was a call for help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 more museum break-ins in Canada, and then Russia, Sweden, and Denmark also had them.
Yeah.
I think we should get a hold of this Eric guy and see what he knows, because I feel like he's at kind of at the center of what would open up to something bigger. But we got to convince him to help us.
One thing that might be helpful is to talk about how you go about this in game mechanics. So remember that Savage Worlds has a networking mechanic that is a way of gamifying you going to try and find information. If you have contacts or you have ways you think you might be able to track down people, you can use at default it's persuasion and intimidation that you can use to try and gather information, but you can also, the game is pretty flexible, so you can also use other things if there are other skills that would be more appropriate, or other ways of trying to track down information. Right now, Bouquet is still suffering from fatigue, I believe.
Yes.
From a sleep. So do you guys want to take a day to rest? Let Warlock put up the wards that he said he would be doing, and then hitting it fresh with Bouclier shaking that fatigue?
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll assume, Warlock, why don't you give us an occult roll, please?
Who's nothing? We are.
Okay. Nice. Then I'm going to make a will check here. And we'll see whether... Yeah. Okay. So thanks to Warlock's charms or wards, Buklia, you wake up completely refreshed the next morning. Ditto for you, Cygnus.
Yep.
Although Cygnus, you've got you can't remember anything about it, but you're troubled by dreams you had of shifting and moving shadows. And not only that, like shadows that also warped light around it. Like this isn't just a matter of objects or whatnot casting shadows or places where light doesn't reach. It's almost like it is warping a distorted perspective from your dreams, but you can't remember any particulars of what it is you dreamt about. And it's not the kind of nightmare you had with the Wendigo, where it was you were trapped there and it was so real or so clearly based on a real place. Why don't we open up with you guys meeting around the big breakfast kitchen as well. We paid for this set, so we might as well make use of it. So, as you guys are meeting around the kitchen, who's the first one who's up, do you think?
Not Bouclier. He's always going to be the last, probably.
I think Warlock had gotten up early this morning to meditate, and you'll see him in the kitchen making some tea, and he's dunking the bags and getting it ready for everybody else to get up because he knows they'll be along shortly.
Okay. So I guess
shortly is like another hour and a half for Bouclier, but yeah.
So Cygnus, you're up next.
Yeah.
So as you walk in, what do you guys? Maybe you guys can talk in character about what you're planning on doing.
Warlock will pass some black tea over to Cygnus and see the steam coming off of it and says, "Trust you slept well."
Slept, yes. I don't know about well, but well enough. So, what are we going to do next?
I was thinking about getting a hold of this Eric fellow and getting information from him, but apparently he's a very top dog nowadays, and that might be difficult, or he might be uncooperative.
I'd like to know more about who he is, and especially about where his fingers are, what kind of business he runs.
If I was as old as him, if I was as old as him, that'd be Vegan everywhere.
Yeah. There's got to be something, though. There's bound to be some sort of pattern that might give us better insight into what exactly he's trying to accomplish.
Well, not one for the greater myths of the Norse, but he very well might just be just a bystander in this whole thing. Unless, of course, he's trying to break a curse, then he could be the mastermind behind it.
In my experience, there's no such thing as coincidence, and his name has come up far too many times.
The rumor is he was cursed by Odin himself. So if somebody's trying to bring around the end of the world, Ragnarok, in other words, that might be the only way to do it.
Well, we certainly can't have that now, can we?
And about now, Bouclier stumbles in and it's like coffee. I slept good, thanks, but coffee.
Warlock shakes his head and passes over some hot tea.
Yep. Tea.
Cygnus,
black tea. It's got caffeine.
Do you have academics at all?
Bouclier?
No, Cygnus.
Okay. Cygnus. Hold on a second, Kev. I think I do. I don't think it's very high, but I do have it. Yeah, I've got academics.
Yeah, give us an academics check.
Okay.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the things that is a common, it's not a misconception, but it's a common thing that's left out. Ragnarok is not just the end of the world. It's the birth of a new one.
Well, that's not good either, really.
Not for those living in the current one.
Thank you.
But it is something that is often like it's not like end of history the way that Christian myths are. Ragnarok is a passage from one era into another one.
But so I think it starts with ice and then fire, and then like from the ashes a new world arises.
Well, we're having ice, or we had ice.
Definitely had it.
Or like kind of shrugs and says, if I was thinking about the places between the worlds, it'd probably be very cold.
Have you guys brought the things that you faced to Warlock's attention yet?
Are you talking about like the Wendigo and the?
Yeah,
like the not necessarily even like the Wendigo. He definitely knew of,
giants,
but the individuals that you faced.
I think we did that last time.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, John?
I remember briefly. There was a ship. There was maybe not a captain or something, but somebody who was seeking the compass.
So something that I'm not sure what if you brought them to the attention. So let's assume that you're going to do that, or he's asking. So the more powerful beings they faced were the lady or the white, sorceress, that bear.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a tuft of that supernatural bear hair in the museum.
Yeah. So why don't you, Warlock, give us another either occult or academics check. Occult will give you more about the supernatural side. Academics will give you more about the historical context or mythological context. I had a suspicion to be occult. Are you happy with that, or you want to try for a raise?
Let's try for a raise. I'll re-roll. -1 of the bennies.
There you go.
He's like shaking the sleep out of his eyes. Give me a sec.
Yeah, so you're, and I think maybe, let's say that Cygnus, you use some kind of like image capturing device on your suit to be able to recreate. So you got like kind of like holographic versions of these villains. And your Warlock, you're studying these, and like the curious thing about them is that each of them seems to have, with the exception of Singularitas, the fact that Cygnus faced that there, that doesn't seem to have a specific, obvious correlate in mythology or in any other kind of religion. But these others, they seem kind of close. So like it's not quite, but I mean, like there were trappings of Norse ice stuff with that woman, and there is First Nations, or not First Nations, but Inuit mythology that is close to what that bear thing is, but not quite there. And the spirit as well, that also seems to be something maybe either in your mind Finnish or Russian. So these are all like the individual creatures you face. They're all creatures of kind of northern regions mythology.
Kind of like a twisted or half telephone Baba Yaga thing for the old lady.
Not necessarily. Baba Yaga would be Russian. This would be Norse, and like the Scandinavian, and there are similarities between the Scandinavian myths and the Norse myths, but they're still quite different. Baba Yaga doesn't, as far as I know, there's not a direct cognate in German myths or in Norse myths. What she seems is like there are definitely there are creatures or beings, I should say, not creatures, that are offspring of supernatural creatures like ice giants. Ymir is said to be the original and ice giant, but the bones of Ymir are the things that made up the world. His blood became the rivers and oceans. His bones became the mountains. But in myth, there are a number of things that are offspring of ice giants. And ice giants, don't think of them as like actual ice or whatnot. There's plenty of them that, you know, crossbreed with the members of the two types of Norse gods. But she doesn't track directly, at least what you've seen with, or her abilities with any of the actual gods. Ditto for that bear thing. Like, it seems similar to this Inuit god called Nanook. But Nanook is a much more benevolent god and also quite powerful. So this one has a lot of his characteristics, but does not seem to be quite as powerful. It didn't tear Bouclier in half when it got to him. And that there are wind spirits. And unsurprisingly, the Finns and the Russians have myths involving wind spirits. But this one doesn't, that thing doesn't quite track to any specific god. So what has similar characteristics to something but don't quite, but are their own thing?
I'm more like just thinking maybe this, they're all just reflections of the one particular being that showed up in different legends and just got different stories told about them based on how they acted.
Well, you know that in this world, like, remember, this is a anything that we've seen in DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, or whatnot, but there are cognates of it in here. So gods exist in this world. Let me ask you this, Warlock. What is something that you can create that shares your characteristics but is its own thing?
You got simulacrums, or you can make, you know, avatars of yourself. So if gods wanted to interfere in the mortal realm, they'd have to lessen their power and anoint a champion or something.
Think even more simply. What is one of the things that the Greek gods, the Norse gods, regularly do?
Breed with humans and create spawn.
Yeah, that would make sense. Just because the age of myth has passed in the world does not mean that gods stop spawning offspring.
You think they'd learn eventually, because, you know, you spawn an offspring, they're not necessarily going to do what you want them to do.
100%.
Rather just get an avatar. I mean, come on. Interesting. So yeah, he'll share the information with the group, and see, we might be walking on the heels of the deities and approaching their own children.
Do we? And Bouclier
Wait a minute.
Do we think they're following what their parents want, or they're doing their own thing?
It's a good question. This Eric guy might not even be, quote, cursed by Odin. He could just be a son of Odin, and he's hiding it behind a curse from back in the day.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you, Robert, on the camera, and I was just trying to reconnect, and I ended up losing everyone else.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I got everyone again. Okay. So, everyone gets a hero point, by the way. Or hero point, a Benny. Wrong game, Madison.
Metacurrency. Choir.
So how does that affect or change your understanding of what's going on here?
It makes it even more complex and dangerous. Because you can handle powerful beings because they're still mortal, but if you have a demigod, they usually have specific weaknesses, and they tend to stick around quite a bit. And if you take care of them, you anger bigger things. But we can't have them, ruining our world. That's like a no. No, you can't do that.
Yes.
What do you make of the cross pantheon team up that seems to be going on.
Kind of. Well, it would make sense that if there's some goal that needed to be had, gathering all the powers of one type would probably make it easier to do so. But then again, Warlock is skeptical enough to think maybe they're not just cross pantheons; they're just the same being that's made got, like Boucher said earlier, got his fingers and everything.
Yeah. Or something is scaring them all enough.
Warlock will glance at Cygnus and, or maybe something's forcing them to work together.
Yeah, or someone.
No.
Definitely have to talk to this Eric guy to get his take on things. Because, I'm not sure how well demigods survive world-changing events, but it might be in his best interest to help us.
Unless he's the ringleader.
Yeah. That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys thinking of doing then?
I'm using some networking to get us an interview or a meeting with this Eric guy. That's what I'd vote for.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some reaching out, some colleagues, see what I can find out, maybe what kind of business ventures he's into that might be new or odd.
Bouclier is thinking about going back to Winnipeg and maybe talking with some of the grad students and seeing if the professor is awake to see if he's got two ideas in mind. One, he wants to get more of a first-hand account from the professor. The other thing would be seeing if there are any grad students who have kind of wild theories of their own, who may have been working with the compass and or the logbook and maybe have theories that they're not willing to share with other people because they're too far-fetched, but something like that. Because he knows when he was a grad student, he came up with all kinds of crap. So.
Well, yeah, doesn't he have a D4 or a D6 in science?
Yeah, but
I mean, I think he lies about his graduate degree, to be honest. He may call himself a grad student. I don't think he ever fucking went with a D6.
Well, no, I think he might have gone, but he probably didn't graduate.
Well, like for bachelor degree, maybe, but you have to have really good grades in order to get into a graduate program. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Unless he's going there may very well be like a University of Bahamas kind of equivalent of.
It was an athletic scholarship that got him through,
Yeah.
That doesn't really work for advanced degrees, though.
Yeah, but he's met enough grad students at some point that he knows that they have some, he's talked to them, they've got crap, and he figured, hey, he came up with all kinds of crap. Some of it seemed to be real, and
it was.
Yeah, he's probably not. You're probably actually right, Kev. He probably got a degree from like some online university, and
exactly. University of Phoenix is really taking a beating in most of our campaigns right now.
Yeah.
Apologies to both any graduates of the Bahamas and any graduates of the University of Phoenix.
Yes.
Oh man.
But, something like that, and then I don't know. His main thing is to see just talk to the people who were there and see if they have any theories of what was going on that they saw, because he doesn't have the ins that these other guys do.
Okay. And fortunately, we haven't really dealt with your base's powers lately too, but just remember you've got access to those portals whenever you want, so you can teleport around Canada at your leisure, and that may be able to be expanded over time.
That's pretty cool. Warlock would like to study those.
Yeah.
Are they magical in nature or technology based?
No, magical, most definitely. Ravenscrag is a deeply magical place. So, I really should I should make a trip to Montreal just to take photos of Ravenscrag if I can gain access.
Yeah.
So, that'd be neat to have some actual, things.
Yeah.
I don't think, we don't know anybody. The closest person in our roster who lives to Montreal is Andrew.
Yeah.
But that's still like one province over, so it'll be a long.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving homework to someone. Here you go, Andrew. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to draw some cards. I'm going to treat this like we do chases and things like that, where you're going to get a card to give us the order you're going in. You may get a joker out of this as well, but a club will come with complications. Because I like that rule a lot. All right, so here we go. Bouclier. You're opening a 5. Sickness. A 6. And Warlock. A 5. Okay. Anyone that want to get a new card, hands up, or...
Nah.
Good, okay. So Cygnus, starting with you, what is your... what was your thing you're trying to do? Trying to find information about...
Well, I think the biggest thing is maybe he's talking to some other scientists he knows, some of the Discord servers. And probably the other thing he's kind of trying to do is like, okay, so this guy had this and he donated it to the collection. So a lot of times what you'll have these companies, whatever you want to call it, foundations, and a lot of times they'll sponsor like studies, scientific studies, and you'll see papers published, and this was impartial support from whatever. So he's looking for any correlation with that as well. He's trying to find out, are there any scientific papers out here like that he specifically sponsored?
Yeah.
And what's the correlation between them? So that's what he's trying to do.
Okay. So why don't you give us a let's see here. Is it LexisNexis? Is that the database for papers? I'm trying to remember. Or is LexisNexis the law thing? I can't remember. I have a graduate degree and I got a law degree, and I can't remember what fucking programs are used in what.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, let's hear. It doesn't matter. It's in service of a lame joke anyway. So why don't you just give us a science roll?
All right.
Got a raise. Okay.
Pretty good.
So, what you find is that the vast majority of there are some raw science papers that are being published by under his name, but what you find much more is references to patents that he has, and he it seems. If you fall, I'm going to assume with your raise, you're going to follow up down that rabbit hole, and really, like the parallel to Steve Jobs is really fairly accurate as far as like company building, because remember, Form Fader is the name of his company, and it's sort of in this world one of the ubiquitous brands that everyone knows about, and to the point where like the Form Fader symbol are runic symbols, which you guys may already know this as well too. Did you know that Bluetooth is a runic symbol as well, named after it is, I can't remember if it's a Finnish or Swedish company, but it's named after a king named Bluetooth, and it's his runic symbol. That's why it's the symbol. So. If you were in a world of magic and you were wanting people to routinely invoke a magical rune, boy, that'd be a surefire way of doing that, right? If it's on every single device. Anyway, what you find is that he's behind. There's a lot of tech stuff in the last 15, 20 years that he has been behind developing. That seems to be in service to just developing and making money. Like there's also, I think, references in some things to very aggressive litigation in relation to those things too. Form Fader has the reputation of an absolutely remorseless businessman. It is someone who does not, there are definitely charitable initiatives that are associated with it as well, and there are some. The one thing that does seem to be different is that there are Danish like cultural sponsorship things. So like there's a place called, I can't remember something Meadows, Long something Meadows, where there is in Newfoundland where there is an old Viking settlement. There's a great deal of money that went towards rehabilitating that place. He also sponsors, there's an Icelandic festival in Gimli, Manitoba. He sponsors that as well. There's a Danish club in Calgary. He sponsors that as well. So there is a strange, that's the cultural kind of connotation to it. What there isn't, because you maybe, anything involving Norse runes or Danish heritage or whatnot, this may be a natural thing you're thinking of. There does not appear to be, from that role at least, any obvious connection with white supremacist movements. So that's what you found from your initial searches. Remorseless businessman, a lot of focus on developing tech as opposed to developing science necessarily, or raw science, and a connection to a lot of kind of Norse or Scandinavian cultural issues. Spades comes before hearts. So Bouclier, we'll turn to you now.
So, of course, I was looking over his sheet, and it's like going, well, he's definitely impulsive, which is why he's doing this when he has no persuasion skills. I mean, he has a D4.
Yeah.
He could taunt somebody into giving him something, but I'm not sure how that would go. So
what's
he
he
goes to the
dressed
hospital.
like when he's arriving? Because I imagine this guy's probably still in the hospital, the doctor, so or the professor. How are you planning on showing up here?
Probably. I mean, he's, because of his body form, he's got these big kind of somewhat formless clothes, because nothing really fits him particularly well with his new fun body shape. But, he at least makes an effort to wear slacks and, is a button-up, sort of a button-up shirt, but short-sleeved. So he knows enough not to put a tie on that.
Yeah.
He's
rocking the Tony Soprano look, it sounds like.
Yeah. But he's bringing his best pair of sneakers too, because he doesn't actually have any dress shoes.
Okay.
So, yep.
How old is Bouclier?
Bouclier, I'm guessing he's probably. So let's see. Based on this, he would have, he basically conned his way into kind of not a graduate program, but basically convincing people that he was a graduate student. We could hire him on as a contractor or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he's probably maybe 25, 26 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're making...
I'll say 26.
Sure.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us a... it sounds like you're taking the friendly approach on this.
Yeah, more or less. Like he wants to go. I'm going to kind of roll and see what the actual result is before I describe how he did this, because it could come out terrible.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So go right ahead with your persuasion check, please.
Sure. And then he has to figure out a way to work taunt in there if that doesn't work. It's going to make us a few enemies. Sorry, guys. Persuasion. There we go. Oh, I needed to remove the fatigue.
You also need to turn your conviction off. Remember, you don't. Oh, yes. You have to record that somewhere on your character sheet. You can't just toggle that. But with the fatigue gone, that is a success.
Okay, I thought we got the conviction at the end of last.
You did, but in order to spend it, you can't. When you toggle that on, that means you're spending fatigue, so it'll roll conviction for every roll you make.
Got it.
Yeah. You just unfortunately, there's not a place where you can write down that you've got conviction.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a success. So you can picture you're making your way through the the St. Boniface Hospital. You managed to talk your way through to the doctors, and let's give him a name too. Let's see. His name is going to be. Let's see here. Oh, Shandro.
Shandro?
Yeah, Dr. Shandro.
Is that with a C or an S?
Shandro.
Okay, Shandro. So he gets in, and I assume maybe the doctor's awake, and depending on how good he feels, he's either watching TV or maybe reading the latest scientific paper.
Yeah, he might have. I think he's maybe resting in bed, and his partner is in the room as well. You poke your head in, and he, wakes up enough. I think the squeaking of your sneakers maybe, heralds your arrival.
Yeah.
He looks up.
Yeah.
And
Bouclier kind of says, "Hey, Dr. Sandro, how are you feeling? Wanted to check up on you."
He looks.
You might have recognized. You might have known when I was a little bit bigger. I don't know if did he ever see us actually doing the fighting?
He definitely met you guys afterwards, for sure. So he would have seen. So then he kind of he looks at you, and then I imagine you cut a very distinctive silhouette, even in normal size. So his eyes. He says, "Bouclier."
Yeah, that's me. Just wanted to come by, and the other guys, they send their regards. Everybody's hoping that you're feeling better. Yeah,
I am. Please thank your fast companion.
That would be Cygnus. Sorry, not Cygnus. Where'd he go?
Mind warp.
Mind warp. Yeah. I was looking at the screen
yes.
Yep. I was sitting there trying to figure out which one of you was the fast guy, and I'm like, oh wait, he's not here.
Please thank him if he hadn't. And his partner gets up and takes his hand and says, "I'll give you some time." And they leave. And he says, I'm feeling much better, and the doctors assure me that I'll be able to leave in a couple of days.
Great. And because he didn't get a raise or something, he's going to get kind of to the point and not. So he's like, so we found it interesting that they stole the compass again. Did you notice anything at all that when they stole it, did they say anything that indicated why they were taking it? Just something that you didn't notice the first time. Because we're trying to find it, and we think this is connected to a much bigger thing.
They, unfortunately, they were not. The bear creature that returned did not say much. I assumed that they were simply returning to complete their uncompleted task. If it was they did not touch the ship again, so that did not seem to be their goal, though the log is still missing as well. With the log gone and the compass now gone, I can't fathom. Those were really the only artifacts that we had of significance, at least related to the officers. Or it wouldn't be, it was a commercial bus, it wouldn't be officers, relating to the captain's role.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any students who are specifically working on the compass and the log, as part of their graduate work?
I do, yes.
Yes. Maybe I know they keep in touch with you as well, but perhaps they've known something that they haven't yet imparted to you, or discovered something.
I can certainly give you if you think it would assist in. Are you trying to recover it?
Yes, of course, but we also want to know why they took it to begin with. As you know, these were not normal thieves. They're doing something that we feel might have grave consequences.
I see. I will ask the. I'll ask the two students who were working on the compass to contact you, and they will answer any questions that you may have with respect to their studies.
Okay.
It was within the scope of mine, but we did not. Norse studies and such are beyond the scope of my expertise.
Is it in the expertise of any of your students, or perhaps someone else in the university?
The
or the museum. But
yeah, the Norse markings on it are something that remain a mystery. We thought it might be. To be honest, we initially, when it was provided by the Von Fader Foundation, we thought it was we had concerns over vandalism after the fact, but it was only after references in the log, in journals kept by the captain, that it confirmed that there were these strange markings on this vessel, on the compass, though it was brought by the passenger who, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the commissioning of the Nonsuch, but it was a Danish man who supported and provided some backing for the voyage of the Nonsuch. And one of the things supplied was he sponsored this elaborate device. You think there is more than just affectation to the Norse markings on it?
Oh, and I'm sorry, Kev, I don't have the notes on this, so he would tell him what we discovered as far as the actual markings go.
As far as I know, you guys don't know anything about.
Okay.
Apart from them being Norse markings, I don't think you have any other insight into the specific.
Yeah, we don't have any. Yeah, and he tells them that. He says we think it's probably important given what else we've been seeing, that these these supernatural creatures, which we now think might be the offspring of gods. He kind of watches him to see what his reaction is, if he thinks, okay, this guy's crazy, or if he's okay with believing this idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think a week ago he may have thought you were pulling his leg, but I mean, nearly getting murdered by a mythical bear man probably opens your horizons for what you're willing to believe in. What he tells you too is in a similar way there is there are. And this is beyond his studies. He says this is classics, but to understand the difficulty or the challenge with these Norse things, there are older scripts. There are classical Greek scripts that we understand and that scholars have a way of comprehending. But there are also older versions of the scripts where we know they exist, but we don't know how they function. We have yet to find something, a Rosetta Stone, that would allow us to understand how they work. The markings that are on this are similar to that. They are similar to accepted Norse markings, but they are different enough that we don't know what they actually mean. This is why we thought it was vandalism at first. They were not just simple the typical Norse markings, the Futhark, or any of the other older scripts. This is seemingly an older alphabet that is used on there, if it isn't just graffiti or bad calligraphy. But the artistry that's used on the compass makes us think that it is not simply a new invention or a poorly translated. It is too consistent, and it is too close to some of the oldest runic script we have found.
Okay. So perhaps, given that it was commissioned, or it was given to you by this Danish gentleman, and perhaps he has some more information on this then. If he felt it was of importance.
Surely he would be dead nearly 400 years by now.
Well, given everything we've seen, and he kind of blows over that. He's given what we've seen,
he says,
I'm just spitballing, Doctor.
I am willing to concede that there is a unnatural aspect to the thieves who attacked our museum. But are you proposing time travel? In the brief dealings I've had with your world, Bouclier, I am grateful that I do not have to live in it, but I am grateful that you are.
Well, thank you, Doctor. I That's all I really had to ask, but I am very pleased to see that you are awake, and we were quite worried.
I understand that there were the guard, unfortunately, passed away, but otherwise there were no other fatalities.
That's very good. When I first came in, I thought for sure that, and he just trails off.
Yeah.
So he says, "Well, I will leave you to your rest, then, Doctor. But yes, if those students get back to me, I'd be pleased to hear what they have to say."
I will have them. I believe we have your contact information, so I'll have them contact them at the email address or the contact information that you had provided.
Okay,
so, Cygnus, you left behind the way of, at the very least, they have an email address for you because you got all that information from them, the images and such. So, okay. And then Warlock. Oh, there's nothing else you want to do there, Will?
No.
Or, Robert?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Warlock, what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm debating whether I can go the more sorcery route or the more just make some phone calls until I get a hold of somebody that can get us in contact with this Eric fellow.
Robert, can I ask, would you mind moving your mic just a scooch away from...
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. I'm just getting it's picking up just a little bit of breathing.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, it's perfect. So we can hear you great without... yeah.
Okay, great.
What do you think, Warlock?
I'm thinking the tried and true method of sorcery. I mean, I've got a little sample of that supernatural bear hair that I could try and track down, but I think I want to get a hold of this Eric guy. There's maybe use use the spirits to contact him. Maybe use a ritual and send something out to.
I don't know if that's really like that. I don't think you can just use a cult to try and get a networking done, at least, unless there's a specific way. And I'll tell you, the reason being is that like you have no connection to him whatsoever apart from like press clippings and like seeing him on TV or websites, and randomly sending spirits out. Like I don't think you have an ability to summon anything, so you could stunt it with your power, your sorcery, but like that's a limited time thing.
Yeah.
But I am willing to indulge. What else are you thinking, though? Things that might draw on the people that you might have come across or whatnot, or...
Yeah, I mean, if this Eric guy isn't involved with some of the occult, or I mean, if he isn't a mortal being, he's probably got some people that know about it or that have been spoken of in circles that might be able to get a hold of him. Maybe I could do some academics or research into that and see if I can get a name of somebody that could reach out to him.
Okay, so research would probably be... Do you think that you would get answers to anything different from what Cygnus had come across?
Probably not.
Okay. If there is something else that you specifically were looking for, let's see here. Yeah, it's using... So research is using libraries, newspaper morgues, the internet, and other written sources of information to try and find information.
Yeah, no, Mind Warp did that pretty well when he ransacked that library last episode. So
about his history, and then Cygnus got you kind of an insight into what his business is like right now. So what else are you thinking?
Well, I can only think of like making phone calls and trying to get to speak with somebody close to him at this point. Okay. Well,
one thing you have not done, so using this, I guess there's two things. Is do you want to learn more? What Cygnus did not learn about was the anything on the supernatural side. You're not wrong. Like you seem to know already that this guy was an immortal being. You haven't explored any further in that, so I think perhaps using a cult might help you with that, of asking around and trying to find, what you might know, but that would be focused on the supernatural side, not necessarily, that's gathering information as opposed to trying to get a contact. Yeah. Trying to get a contact is likely going to be either persuasion or intimidation.
I think we'll go towards persuasion.
Just going to try and get contact with him?
Try to get a contact. Sure. I think we know enough about this guy already that we know we need to talk to him. So.
Sure. So this one, what you're going to be rolling for is a way of getting in touch with someone who can put you in touch. This isn't a roll to just directly make a meeting with him. So,
okay. So he'll make some inquiries and see about narrowing close to his inner circle or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, everyone gets a Benny, by the way.
I'd have to spend that in order to succeed at this. Here goes nothing.
Okay. That was a raise. All right.
Nice.
Apparently, I found the right person to call.
Yeah. Who do you think you were trying to contact in order to, like, do you know someone who is, he's a kind of part of that, like, it's the, East Coast version of Silicon Valley, but you can picture that he's part of probably that whole, like, tech disruptor scene.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there's a huge interaction between technology and sorcery on a certain level in certain circles, and that maybe I know someone that's involved in both fields and maybe owes me a favor.
Sure, yeah, I buy that.
And I call in and see if I can pull some strings.
Yeah, maybe it is a numerologist who you're covering, someone who feels that there's magic in numbers, who also happens to be a genius at coding.
Yeah, he's not wrong either.
So, with a raise, what he tells you is that he can try and put you in touch with him, or at least let him know that he wants to have a meeting with you.
That will work out great, and then I'll probably give him some information on some lucky numbers in the next week or so that are big in the spirit world.
He looks at you like, "Do you really think that I don't know that better than you already?"
Have I been wrong before? And kind of laugh because there's.
Who did you get that information from?
Well, the spirits, but.
Is that what we're calling my work now?
Well, there's a line that gets blurred.
The difficulty of someone who works next to a genius is that sometimes they mistake the work of the genius for their own.
That is a point you have there. No.
And you're wrong about the numbers. They're these. And he gives you the numbers.
I'm going to run these, and if you're right, I'll send you half my winnings.
He rolls his eyes. But yeah, he will try and reach out and make contact. Is there anything else you wish to talk to this guy? You got a raise on it, so you could try and, if you want to ask him any questions about...
Yeah, I'll try and drop some subtle hits about, the weather being weird in a certain area, some phenomenon going on, and maybe he's heard of some interesting patterns that have popped up on his notice.
It's interesting that you say that. I'm not sure if you've heard as well, but someone is very interested in... Have you heard of Mythtropolis?
Mythtropolis. That'd be a common knowledge roll?
Mythtropolis would be an occult roll.
Okay, let's see if I do. Apparently I'm familiar with it.
So you are familiar with it, and I think that tells us you may have some connection, but this may have been a problem you've had at some point. Mythtropolis is... So we talked about how we've talked about how there have been, there are gods in this world and whatnot. So one of the things is gods still are, like in a lot of other fictional worlds, they gain their power from belief. And when rival pantheons rub against each other as in their way of their different civilizations, more often, there's two ways that goes. One of them is kind of a holy war type thing where you try and eliminate. But if you already come from a pantheistic belief system, it's much easier to have a syncretic system come out of that. Combine the beliefs that you are exposed to and incorporate them into your own. So gods, and in the same way, it's almost like gods marry in, right? Like in the cult of Mithras, that became prominent amongst some soldiers in Rome in the early centuries of the empire. That was something brought in from the Parthian Empire. So it was in the same way. If you think of the gods, they sort of marry in to one another, but it also means they are changed. But when you come across absolutist beliefs like monotheistic religions, then there is no room for syncretic belief. There's no way of incorporating in, apart from trappings like your Christmas tree from Norse beliefs into Christian faith, or Santa Claus. I've heard in some explanations it was a incorporation of a pagan belief, a co-opting of holidays and whatnot. That leaves those gods in the cold, and they have no believers anymore. But what happened is gods of magic and law got together and realized that one way to survive is to create one place that would be stable for gods to survive in spite of their beliefs and those of their believers. And that place is a fusing of different elements of their homeworld. So there would be Olympus in there, there would be Tiantian in there would be every belief system on Earth would be incorporated into a massive metropolis, incorporating all of these cast-off gods. And to keep them from just continually warring with one another, it also limits their power in it. So they still have power, they still have influence, but imagine what 2,000 years of development in a massive city founded by cast-off gods would be like. It seems that someone is particularly interested in gaining access to Mythropolis. It's not an easy place to get into, and generally you need to be invited by the gods. But it does seem someone is particularly interested in trying to gain access to that and stealing anything they can that relates to traveling.
Like, would this particular person be mundane in nature, or maybe they have a foothold they just need to widen the gap with?
It would have to be someone in our community, because and you would know what that he's speaking to. Like, think of the power that would be necessary in order to bridge not only a gap like the gulf between worlds, but also into a place that the most powerful gods of law and magic have tried to seal off.
I think that was useful information you have there.
Does that... Why? What have you heard?
Well, I'll give him a slight briefing of what we found so far, but kind of leave out certain specifics, and let him know that we're dealing with some pretty strange winter-themed beings that may have their eyes set on a rebirth of the world.
These are... How do you describe the... how specifically do you describe the things that you've encountered or that your allies have encountered?
I kind of leave it a little bit vague because...
well, that's why I'm asking specific. Like, tell us what you say in character.
Let's see. I tell him that I'm not sure of any particular deities involved, but they share many traits with, and he'll list a few of the things out. And then he'll definitely make note of these bears that he's acquired a sample from. He's going to try and track down.
Okay.
He does tell them that there has been a very serious issue with Wendigos. Like, they're gathering in numbers.
That's... It's curious. I've heard tell of a faction calling themselves the Scions.
Make any mention of like Alpha and Omega or anything like that, do they?
I mean, no more so than usual.
Or what about being the bridge?
Well, if these Scions are looking for a bridge, that is what it seems people are wanting information on in relation to Metropolis, a bridge to Metropolis.
Warlock will go quiet there for a second. He'll say, what do you know about theoretical physics and black holes?
I know that if you mean a quantum singularity, or what they would... That would be one way of explaining a bridge. Why are you concerned with quantum physics?
I'm just looking at all the options. I mean, would such a thing act as maybe a way of bridging the gap? As far as I know about black holes, they might fold space, and could that be a way to get to Metropolis?
Apart from Sam Neill giving me an explanation of it, I don't have any further knowledge of that. You're going to want to speak to
same
someone.
Same boat as I am.
But in theory, you think that these might be trying to use science to bridge their way?
To get around the magic, yeah. Got a lot to think on now. Appreciate you doing me a favor and getting me in touch with this guy.
If they are as you describe, and they are all offspring of Norse, or not Norse, of northern gods, if they're not in Metropolis or have not been invited in, that likely tells you something about them. And if they are allied and intent on getting in, I cannot imagine that that is going to end well. Power is limited in Metropolis by the enchantments that make it possible. But there is the wealth of all human belief in terms of knowledge and power within there.
A seizing or destruction of said place could provide untold amount of power that maybe even reshape a world.
Fratricide and matricide patricide and matricide are long traditions in the ways of deities
and their children.
If these scions want to get in and simply destroy the place, that could lead to a lot of dead gods. I can't imagine what that would do to the psychoscape for humankind. I must consult the numbers on this.
Just don't be too free with who you tell about it, though.
From what you said, I want nothing to do with these scions.
Good. Well, hopefully you'll get to spend the winnings as when I send you some money.
He stops and kind of grabs a bucket of sticks, like I Ching sticks, and throws them on the ground or under the table next to where you're working. I wouldn't play those numbers anymore. You have to leave. I need to consult the numbers.
Yeah, Warlock he'll start moving over to the door and then look down and say, I can never understand how you can tell from that nonsense. But as he's leaving through the door, he's like, you're not wrong.
When he looks back at you, he says, again, you brought me the numbers, eh? And then goes back to looking his stuff over. You create your portal, you pass through it, and you guys all meet up back at Raven's Crag at one time or another. So why don't we take our mid-session break right now, and then we'll come back and you guys can talk about what you've learned and what this, how this affects things. So, for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily. All right. Oh, it's waiting for
Is this
Will to get
a custom story you've written?
back. It is.
It's so good.
I've been waiting to run a Supers game for a very, very long time. So this is a little...
This is comic book worthy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So while we're waiting for Will to get back, what do we'll just say that Warlock and Bouclier are the first two to get back. Where do you think this conversation would happen? And who do you think is the first?
Well, you'll see Warlock. You'll find him like looking at Mind Warp's conspiracy board.
Oh, his study. Yeah. Okay.
It's like he's just waiting for the others to get back. This is why he's in here, just trying to figure out what's going on with Mind Warp.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he'll find something like related to him, but the other world version of him, he's scratching his head.
You see, there's a reference on it to there's some website as well, like something to do with like it's printouts. I imagine it's like the printouts of a web browser of some kind, and he's got stuff pinned on there. There's some website that refers to waking on the wrong world.
Kind of like the Mandela effect stuff, but
precisely
stuff.
Yeah. There's this, as a non sequitur, there's a fucking great single issue of Astro City. That's if you're not familiar with Astro City, it's Brent Anderson, the artist I mentioned earlier that I was confusing with Mark Silvestri, but Kurt Busiek, guy wrote for a really great run on the Avengers. It's a custom setting that he's got that's got similar to what we're playing with. But the whole story is told from the perspective of this guy who keeps dreaming about this woman and cannot get her out of his mind. And then, it goes along, and he lives in a city with all these superheroes and whatnot. And then what you find out at the resolution of the story, this character called the Hanged Man, who's kind of like a specter type supernatural character. You find out it's what he's dreaming of is his wife, but during the last big cosmic event, her existence was erased. So he's remembering a marriage to a woman who doesn't exist in reality anymore. And he gives him one last time to cherish her memory, and then to stop bedeviling him, he removes the memory from her too. And it's such a fucking beautiful little, it's incredibly well illustrated too, but it's a beautiful little personal story that shows sort of the impact that these kind of crazy comic book events could have. That whole series is just phenomenal and full of those kinds of grounded, perspectives. But
I pulled up the Wikipedia for Astro City. I'm like, I'm going to take a look at this.
It's really good. I really, really good series. So what we were saying is, Warlock, you're looking at that conspiracy wall, and then Bouclier is probably the first one coming in, dressed in his civvies. What is Bouclier's? I guess let me write this down because I can't remember what they are. What is everyone's secret identity?
Oh. You want the names, Kevin?
Yeah, if you just put them in chat, I'll copy them down.
Sure.
I'll just put it in my thing here. It's not okay.
I'm going with a typical high mage sorcery character as a librarian in real life.
Okay. High paying job.
But with friends like a mathematician that knows about lucky numbers, don't really need much more than a day-to-day job.
Yeah. Captain Brooks. Okay. And Leonard Cooper. And manage. Of course, he's the one who puts his. It's an
online master's degree.
Master's degree, University of American Samoa.
No.
No, that's for Calvin. No,
Yeah.
not for Dr. Coop.
Yeah, I imagine Warlock has like a plethora of bachelor's degree and a whole bunch of different stuff, and he just got bored and moved on to something else.
Well, you also have, I imagine you're learning from more unconventional sources. Yeah. Magic is more of an apprenticeship program than it is a, go to magic school.
I don't trust the computers as much as other people do.
All right, so Bouclier, you walk in and Warlock is standing before this conspiracy board that Mind Warp has left behind. Oh, you're muted, Robert. So, everyone here, toast to Mo?
Yep. Trying to make sense of that. Where'd it go?
I had Warlock like trails his finger down to like the center bit of it, and he says, "Probably found a lead somewhere. I don't think he'll be gone long." Well, you know how fast he is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he hasn't gone completely crazy. And then Bouclier turns around and walks back out again. He's like, he doesn't make any sense about that. Although, well, I guess he would hang out here. And he said, "So, should we talk about the what we found?" And I don't know if Cygnus has popped in yet.
Dr. Cooper comes in.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have any luck?
I don't think much, other than the Norse markings, and I'm not sure that we do this, is that it's an older version of the actual Norse language, and it's not, they don't have what he was calling the Rosetta Stone to decipher them. It was it was probably an older alphabet than anything they've seen previously.
And just for you guys may know this already, but just the value of the Rosetta Stone was that it was it had translations from ancient Egypt to, was it Egyptian to Greek to something else? There were three different alphabets on there, so it was extremely valuable for once you figured out what was in one language, you could then work your way along. So, that may be common knowledge, but just in the event anyone does not know, either playing or listening at home, there you go. It's also where I've been elbowed the most. I saw it in the British Museum, and there was a shit ton of tourists who were in there who were much more eager to elbow me out of the way to get pictures of it. So that's my memory of the Rosetta Stone.
So I didn't really find too much, but the doctor's doing good, so he should be home in a couple of days, and he has a couple of graduate students who are going to pass maybe some info on to us if we can think of anything specific we might want to ask them.
Warlock will he'll look over and say, "Well, this is what's common for me so far. I've got a little bit of good news and a lot of bad news." One, I had a mathematician, computer programmer friend that is able to get us
he's a numerologist.
Numerologist, yes.
Mathematicians to numerologists would be like people who stack instruments and people who play them.
Well, he's still good at math.
Yeah.
He says he's able to get us a meeting with this Eric fellow, or at least a bit of contact, since he's in a circle that we both interact with. But the bad news is found a lot of information that is worrisome. He'll explain what Metropolis is to these two if they don't know about it, and his fears about these scions and their demigod children seeking a way in. And then he'll look at Cygnus and then down to the chest area where, his power source would normally be, and says, "I fear they might be using science and physics in order to bridge that gap instead of magic."
Well, at a sufficiently advanced level, the two are indistinguishable.
Yeah, and then the being that I encountered was so sufficiently advanced magic that I couldn't tell what it was.
Well, you think of the connection that you saw between that being, whether it was magical or not, and Cygnus's singularity.
And Warlock will say, just like technology can be mistaken for magic, I would say this magic is almost mistakable for divinity.
Well, I really didn't find out anything really earth-shattering at all. The biggest thing, it seems to me, is that Thorn Fader is really just fundamentally an industrialist. They hold several patents, but none of it is none of it is mind breaking or anything that's revolutionary. It just seems to be a source of funds. So that's about all I really found out.
It could be useful for leverage if we need to.
Sorry, guys. Robert, I think we're getting a fair amount of like background sound from your mic.
Okay, let me just mute it then when I'm not talking.
Yeah, sorry. It's just that like the quality of sound is fantastic on it when it's active, but I'm hearing a lot of like wind or like ambient sounds.
That's probably the fan I have running, so I can turn that off.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, I don't hear the ambient sound at all anymore. I was wondering. I'm like, man, like Robert's breathing really heavy today. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Oh, are you muted right now?
No, I'm not muted anymore.
Oh, fuck then. Yeah, it's completely gone.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, you guys. I didn't mean to.
No, that's like I said. That's about all I found out.
Yeah.
Might be useful for, I wouldn't call it exactly leverage, but at least some information on him that we can use to set up common ground. Because if he's tied into so many things and the world's ending, that might really incentivize him to help us.
All right, so I think then that's our next step then is to wait for your guy to get us a confirmation of a meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he'll rub the back of his neck and say, I'm glad that doctor's doing better.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised actually how good he was looking, but he should be back in the museum in a couple of days.
Warlock will like reach into his coat and pull out a little tuft of fur that he has. It says, in the meanwhile, like try and do a locator spell to see where these bear things have gotten off to.
Cygnus.
Yes.
Tell us how, because I think, don't you have a, let me check your character sheet once again here. I thought you have do you have that machine interface? Or I think it's called interface, not machine interface.
I think I stunted it.
Oh,
I don't have
you sent it last time. Okay.
power. I think I used my super science to do that.
So do you have your phone on you then?
Yeah,
normally, is that what you would?
especially-
Because, oh, here we go. Here you are. All right, so what you just got a message. It appears, because you've got, I'm not sure if RSS is still a thing, because I'm old, but there is there's a notification you get. There is apparently a theft in progress in Vancouver.
Oh, we gotta go. Do we know the facility? I guess
You know precisely where
Okay.
it'll be a place downtown.
Okay. Guys, there's another robbery taking place right now in Vancouver.
Are we sure that it's a related robbery? Like, it's
we
not a
won't
bank
know if we
robbery?
investigate.
Okay.
Nothing to suggest. I think this is more just a. What's curious that you know what, Cygnus, I'm not sure you remember setting this notification, but you did just get it.
Got nothing else to do. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, so we head to the portal room, I assume, Kevin?
Sure. You guys get yourselves all ready, and then we would cut to first.
The Warlock getting his force field going just in case something's going to get him when we go on the other side. And
Our establishing shot of Vancouver.
pretty.
I believe it's Mount Robson in the north up there. But it is not here. This is sort of the establishing thing, and then we get down to, I think it's, here we go.
Hmm.
And you guys come out here. You can see, if you want to figure out where in relation you are, take a look where the tower is there and where the Sky Dome. I think it's the Sky Dome. No, it's the.
Oh, there we go.
I actually don't remember. Sky Dome is in Toronto. Saddle Dome
That's what I was fixing to say, yeah.
is in Calgary. So this is look. That's the same thing there. And
So
there's
we're
that
like in
there.
this direction.
So you're precisely right over here.
We're back over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys come out. Ooh. And then, Robert, we lost your camera again, or I did at least.
Okay. Yeah, that's because I had to reset because I didn't see anything on the screen. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep, you're back.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you guys come out here at, I can't remember what the cross street is, or it's West Broadway for sure. And you hear an explosion from kind of nearby. We're going to cut over to a screen here. Let's see, is this the one I want? No, that's not the one I want. Yeah, don't start talking about food yet, because
Too late.
I'm already itching for my what do you call it? Yeah, my post-session order from my favorite diner.
I'm mad because my post-session plans have already crapped out. The restaurant's closed today.
Oh, no!
Oh, damn.
And it's like they got the best barbecue ribs, and I was just craving their ribs, and they're closed.
Oh, no. I thought that's against the law in the Carolinas.
I'm not in the Carolinas.
Oh, there you go.
Tennessee. A little lax on Saturday sometimes.
Yeah. I had, jokes aside, I did have the best barbecue I've had in my life was when we were in Charlotte's in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina. You're exactly right.
I had the.
I lived in North Carolina for a decade, so.
Yeah, it's
good, but it's different.
So they were telling us when there. There's like the mustard based, and there's the whatever, the red sauce based.
Yeah, the Carolinas headed Charleston for my undergrad and Wilmington for my grad. So I had a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec here, guys. I'm just going to resize. I didn't make this quite big enough yet. I want to add something on here. Give you guys some room to move. You don't have your super speedster with you right now, but better to give you the extra space. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this too.
Okay, I can power stunt a time stutter. That'd be cool.
Let's see here. I need this.
We'll have Mind Warp playing with us in spirit.
Yeah.
You know, Warlock is half worried that Mind Warp is trying to do something and get back to his own timeline.
Yeah.
That'd be a reasonable concern, I think.
Yep.
Do we as a team really know about him being from another time dimension?
Well, his conspiracy board was quite telling.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was thinking. It's like he hasn't said it to us.
Well, the website about waking up in another world was like, huh.
Yeah, that's it's not something that he has openly discussed, but yeah. Do you think it's something that you guys have? Well, actually, I don't even know. I don't want to speak for Jeff because I can't remember if his character has actually discussed this at all.
I don't
remember him in character.
No, not in character.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although that was nice of him to drop that hint with the conspiracy board. That was
Yeah.
With my research of a D8, I'm like, I'm drawing 2 and 2 together here real quickly.
Yeah, that's what's fun. Like the I don't use it in this campaign, but like the blue booking from Strike Force is a really fucking interesting idea, where you're filling in stuff from between sessions by using back in the day it would be a blue scribbler, and you'd be writing stuff. So stuff that didn't need to necessarily happen at the table, you would deal with by way of blue booking. That's sort of what the Discord server can be used for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I never knew why they called it Blue Book till I got to college.
Exactly.
I mean, because we just didn't have it in high school. It just wasn't a thing.
No, we didn't.
Well,
I went to a public school.
Playing games, you can do this with a Blue Book, and I'm like, let's go say Blue Book.
Yeah, that's a great source book too. The Strike Force. Really good ideas in there. It's not the kind of thing you would want to reference like all the time, but it just gives you a lot of good ideas to.
Is that the Champions that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Aaron Olson.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me guys pick left or right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's for
The
Wendy's.
Wendy's, yeah.
Yep.
Cygnus, you've got some degree of super strength in your suit. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming you're carrying
Bouclier.
Bouclier right now. Yeah.
Yep. That's how we roll.
Yeah. Okay. Get ready to drop me on something.
Yeah.
Hit the ground and grow like twice your size.
Yep.
Okay, so...
Or you could just drop a Warlock on me again.
I'd rather not.
That worked really well last time.
That was not an experience I want to repeat, hence the vigor roll increase.
Cygnus does a fastball special with Warlock into Bouclier.
I don't know. I'm just like, narratively speaking, surviving that kind of encounter with such a being would definitely increase his mental fortitude.
Yeah. Okay, 2, 3.
Yeah, when you bump heads against the supernatural, you either break or you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes both, but if you do both, something good might happen.
Mm-hmm.
Grow a tentacle or something.
All right.
I'm at Science Cthulhu. It was not fun.
Okay. Oop, did you come out? Where'd you go? You are too far down, my friend. You guys can see, but not edit. Here we are, and... Okay. See, not edit. Good. All right. Okay, so guys, let me bring you over and show you what you see here. So, as you guys come around, this is where you find yourself.
Flashbacks of Wendy Hulk.
Yeah. And hopefully for Will, the map from the...
Yes.
Yeah, Marvel Superheroes.
Yep, box set. That's immediately what came to mind.
So what, and I think I've got this set up to measure properly. I do. Look at each square, guys, equal to 1 inch. Okay, so
Light.
what you can see is there are a trio of very high-tech looking hover vehicles of some kind. 3 of them outside of this building that has some smoke coming out of it. There are a cluster of look like kind of paramilitary, but here we go. But as you can see, the paramilitary, they seem to be carrying very high-tech weaponry. And they're seeming to do kind of crowd control or keeping an eye out for trouble. By way, I mean superheroes. But the curious thing is on the door outside of here, you recognize the distinctive symbol of the Von Fader Corporation.
Oh.
So whatever's going on here, these people seem to be robbing the Von Fader Vancouver offices. So, with that, no one has quick or level-headed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so we're just drawing cards then. Guys, let's get into some card drawing here. Now, I'm going to try something. Oh, I'm going to try something here. Oh, shoot. Okay, it goes above and it doesn't display. Let me get rid of... Hold on here. Ever since we... Here's steel card. There we go.
Steel request? I need to let it go.
Yes.
Okay.
So we learned... now it's on my goddamn thing. Hold on. We learned in the Aliens game how easy it is to manipulate the card mechanics in here. We were playing that, so you could, like, there's in the Aliens one, there's handouts for card versions of, like, gear and stuff like that, and you can trade it back and forth to one another. You can drop it on the table and pick it up, just like you can. So, and you can display, because we have our displays always on top, you can change where the card shows up. So it could be underneath your thing. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, the other players, I don't think, can see it. So it means that I'm just going to keep drawing, put them next to you guys here. So Bouclier, you've got a 4, Cygnus, a 3, and Warlock, an King of Spades, or King of Clubs, I guess. And then the Tech Mercs, King. Anyone, hands up, want to get a new card?
Yeah.
I like my Ace of Clubs.
King
nice.
of Diamonds.
I'm okay with going last because I have to wait till I get dropped anyway.
Sounds good. All right. So then I'm not spending any bennies to get stuff. So first up will be Warlock. What are you doing? What's your pace?
My pace in flight is 45.
Okay, so you can move 45 squares.
Squares or yards?
45 squares.
Oh, okay. See, I want to try to find some cover from like a rooftop from these guys so they don't shoot me.
Okay.
Could I make it up here and like peek down from the rooftop?
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to measure something real quick there. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna just soar, around, trying to put cover between myself when I get over here.
Okay.
And then
your force field isn't up, by the way.
Oh, then I'll activate it as I land.
Okay, so there you go. Next up is is that spades or is that clubs? Spades. Spades are before diamonds. So, let's check here. Nuclei, and that's 32 squares away. All right. My notes aside, don't need those right now. Time to start shooting. Here we go. Right to the page I needed. Look at that. Okay. There we go. We got 1, 2, 3. I'll do these in groups of... Actually, I can do all 4. These are all shooting at you, Cygnus. Cygnus, do you have anything I need to be aware of? Dodge or...
No, probably just my armor.
Oh, you're flying too, so your speed...
Yes, I am flying, so they do give -1.
Yeah, -1. Okay, so I need a... That's 6...
Need to pull that document up.
Okay, so I need a 7 to hit you.
Okay.
Let's see here. These first group, and they are carrying... oh. Yeah. So actually I need a... they're carrying some kind of advanced, rail, submachine gun type thing. So it just starts and firing all these bolts up at you. I need a 6 to hit you.
Okay.
Not a single one hits. Even with the +1 to hit. So they're filling the air around you. These ones would have seen Warlock land on the roof. I'm assuming you have 0 line of sight to them right now, Warlock.
No, I ducked down and put up my force field. I'm expecting them to try to shoot through the building.
Yeah. So
that's what I would do.
They are going to hold an action, and these ones are keeping watch on the other side. Those 3 will still fire at you, and this is now a... I need an 8 to hit you. There's just a couple sixes. 10. All right, so 2 hits, no raise on you, Cygnus.
Okay.
So Cygnus, you're going to take 2d6, exclamation mark. No, Cygnus, not Warlock.
Okay, that's what I was fixing to say. Okay. I thought they missed me. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's this, another group. They're not firing at Warlock. They're firing at you. Yeah, they're
Okay.
not shooting through buildings. That's way too much armor. +3. Okay, so here we go. I have 2 that hit you, Cygnus. So this is the first one. 16. Your armor is it 18?
18.
This is, hold on, but however, this is AP 2. So that brings it down to a 16. That is a shield. You are shaken.
Okay.
Right now, okay? You could spend a Benny and unshake, or do you want me to roll damage for the second one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and spin the Benny to unshake.
Okay, so you're tagged by these things. These are no normal rounds. Like, you know this just as a engineer now. Mm-hmm. Second one hits you, but does not do anything more than scuff your armor. That is it for them. So then next up would be Cygnus. What are you doing, Cygnus? Oop.
So yeah, he's going to fly right into the heart.
Okay.
And he's going to drop Bouclier probably right there.
Okay.
In that first kind of 4 cluster, probably drop him right there. And then he's going to continue on.
How high up are you?
Let's see, 10, 20, probably 30 feet.
30 feet?
30 feet, I think, is good.
Okay. Give me a second, I'm just marking my things here.
One of these days, I'm going to roll double ones.
yeah.
Like, be careful. That happened to Jeff. It was James last night in Kingmaker. Cracked his head hard on some river rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Just marking all my things here.
I don't remember, was it Jeff or Jamie, James, or do we had so many J's?
Yeah, it was all J's last night. All right, so I'm sorry, move yourself where you wish to drop Bouclier.
Okay, we'll do that first.
And then I'll move Bouclier over.
Mm-hmm.
Get over here.
That's where you want to drop him?
Bigger. No. That map's bigger than I am.
Okay. Yeah.
Right there is where I'm planning on dropping him.
Okay, so let me bring Bouclier over here. There we go. All right. And I'll bring your card over, Bouclier.
Yep.
Now, first thing we need to do is damage from the fall for Bouclier. Is that on my
happen? Does that happen now or on my turn?
No, you'll fall immediately.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd hit the ground right now.
Don't like happening simultaneously though. So
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
falling.
My toughness is 10.
It's 10. Okay, so I'm trying to find where. It's under hazards. Here we go.
Do love Bouclier's powers though. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so 30 feet means you were rolling.
What's the parentheses afterwards in that toughness?
That is your armor. That tells us how much comes from armor. So when you have armor piercing things like these things, it ignores that stuff.
Okay, got it.
That's why, like, toughness, if you get a flat bonus to your toughness, sometimes that's better. Or it's cheaper to get armor than it is to get toughness, because armor piercing is subject to being pierced. All right, so hold on. You are falling 30 feet, which is 10 yards. So that is then 3d6 plus 3 for damage. So, and your toughness, you said, is 10 right now?
Yep.
Tusha. So you are falling. That will be 2 wounds. So you're shaken and 2 wounds. You want to give us your focus roll?
Sure. There it is. Okay. And I get a +2 for that because I've got the what ability? I've got the skill bonus focus +2.
Okay.
Oh wait, and that's right. Don't add the plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there you go. So you are Oh, okay. So that's a success and 1 raise. So you absorb the 2 wounds, and because you absorb the 2, let me double check one thing, because there's an interesting thing that came up in the vehicle rules on Wednesday with Star Wars. And let me see here.
Where's the size chart?
Okay, so it is a soak roll. The reason what I was looking up is whether you would get rid of the shaken condition or not. Because in the vehicles, when you soak it, you don't get rid of, you don't have a, technically it's not a shaken condition, but the way that it describes your roll in absorption is as a soak roll. So if you take damage and you absorb all the wounds, then you don't take any, what do you call it?
No shaken?
The shaken condition. Okay, so then Bouclier, that means 2 points you're getting.
Okay. And sorry, does that mean that I'm shaken or not?
You are not. You've successfully soaked that.
Okay.
Okay, so and your size will be a 2 now, right?
Yes, which is about the size of a grizzly or a tiger shark or horse. I'll go with the shark.
Okay, so that was what your free action was to drop him Cygnus. Where you want to carry on with your action?
Yeah, I'm going to carry on with my move.
Okay.
I'm going to move probably right about there.
Okay. Everyone gets a Benny, by the way, too. 10 o'clock rolled around.
That? Oh, we get a Benny?
Yeah, you get a Benny. 10 o'clock rolled around, and I forgot.
Cool. I was going to say something, then I forgot to say something. So don't feel bad. And then, I think I will go ahead and let's see about targeting maybe that vehicle right there.
Okay.
So we'll go use the Dark Matter Blast.
Okay.
Submit.
Okay. That will be a hit, not a raise. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm just finding the stats for this. Okay, so it's 12, and your blast isn't armor piercing. Go. That hits the hull of that thing, but does not pierce.
Okay.
Okay. So these things are tougher than it looks. You could spend a Benny to reroll damage and fish for a raise if you like. Or exploding dice, at least. You want to save those bennies?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Do that?
We'll
Okay.
go ahead and spend that Benny. Is that just a reroll of damage, Kevin?
Yeah, just click on reroll damage.
I want to make sure.
Okay. That is, so you take the better of the 2. It's still, unfortunately, not good enough to...
Yeah.
Like, geez, these things are made tough. All right, and then finally, Bouclier, what are you doing?
He is going to move towards... Let's see. Sorry, I was just setting up my character sheet right now.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to go to this one right here.
Okay.
And basically just punch.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. I'm always sorry. It's been a while since to me, it just felt like it's been a while. Breach wound suits, wound soaked. I've got 2 transmutation tokens.
Yep.
He's going to add 1d6 to the damage roll, so he's going to use one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you could decide that after you see the outcome of your attack. Okay. So, but let's just double check that. So, I can see where there is an interesting part of the risk reward.
Yep.
Love these.
It says.
Yeah, so it's just any damage roll. So, and I'd let you spend that afterwards.
Okay. Okay.
Most Savage Worlds is very permissive in that sense. Okay.
Sure. So he's just doing his melee attack.
Yep. So go ahead fighting, or you're rolling the attack that's down there. No, just rolling your attack under the weapons.
Oh, the big payback. The big payback. Yep. Okay, got it. And no modifier.
No modifiers. That is a hit, not a raise. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
And then, so it's not a raise. So we'll just add the extra d6 in from the raise if you're adding it to the damage.
Okay.
Okay. Like you'll see with the raise. Oh, that's only 13. Okay, so that is. Well, that's enough to take this one out. So you hammer this one, even though it's not a great hit. Wow. Yep. And they're gone. All right.
These guys are not that tough.
Yeah. That's a Bouclier as he's getting bigger and bigger. All right. So then that is the end of round 1. We'll draw cards. I accidentally revealed this one already, but Bouclier, you're getting a queen.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering what that was.
Cygnus, I must have clicked on something wrong. 2 of clubs. Warlock. 4, and then I'll put this over here where these guys are. An ace, and there are 2 other people who are going to be acting. All right, hands up. Anyone drawing new cards? Warlock's getting a new card.
Nope.
Cygnus is getting a new card. All right, so Warlock, I saw that hand first. Joker! Everyone gets a Benny, and Warlock +2 to attack and damage for this round. Cygnus?
Sweet.
4. Hands up. Anyone else taking a Benny? Or taking a Benny, taking a card? No?
Nope.
Then Warlock, you get to decide when you would like to act.
I would like to go first.
Okay.
And is it the +2s only to attack and damage, or is it to any roll?
It's any roll.
Okay, I am going to do 2 actions.
Okay.
First, I'm going to pop my head up and probably trigger some attacks from people.
Nope.
I thought you said they had ready actions.
Nope. Not for you.
Okay. I'm going to target this guy.
So you're going to have to move yourself to the edge, though. If you want to be able to see over. Battletech rules. Line of sight, man. You're back away from the edge. They can't see you. You can't see them.
And I'm going to try to bend Will and take control of that.
Okay.
Looks like I'm spending a Benny. Because even with my +2, that's not enough.
Oh, yeah, that is not. Although, hold on. It's a contested roll. Let's see how badly I roll. It is an extra you're targeting, so they're only rolling 1 dice to resist it. So I think that's what. That's how. What do you call it? Did you click on the power?
Yeah, I clicked on to roll it, so that's weird.
I don't know why it's okay. So it's mind control. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, you actually have to succeed.
Yeah.
If they're successful. Okay, so yeah, you definitely need to spend a point then.
As soon as I don't use my measuring tool, I can click on my
Did
token.
that include your +2 from the...
It did, but I'm doing 2 actions this round, so it balances
so it evens out. Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
Try again.
Wham. Okay.
That's a success, and then I need to make a spirit roll. Your thing doesn't have strong on it, does it?
It does not. They get a minus...
Yeah, you get a raise. Only on a raise, you
yeah.
get a -2. The strong feature gives it a -2 to their roll. All right, and I failed.
Cool.
Okay.
What'll happen is he's doing this glyph going in the air, and then you just see kind of like a phantasmal image pop behind them, sticking through a glyph with his hands above their head, like controlling them.
Okay. What's your second action?
Second action, I'm going to use a terror curse.
Okay.
No, not that one. I'm gonna try and bend Will on another person as well, just to.
So I'm
try on
here.
This one.
The old.
So let's try bend Will again. There we go.
There you go.
It's weird how it doesn't.
Success. Okay. And failed as well.
Okay. I want them to target this ship here and blow it up.
No.
That's what my...
You need to give... You don't have telepathy. Unless you've got telepathy, you need to give them verbal commands.
Okay.
Yeah. So you... they will listen to you if you tell them to do things, but you need to tell them.
Is that a free action, or could I just shout out, shoot the ship?
I think it's an... I think you can shout out something for them to do.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
And
okay, so they, on their turn, they will get a free smarts roll to resist this.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then, it is... So that's Warlock. You got 2 of these guys mind-controlled right now. Next up will be the minions. All right, so first these 2, I'm going to make smarts rolls for them. Their smarts are not great. But I succeeded on both. So they're not free, but they're not obeying your command.
Okay.
Okay, and then they get a resist roll, I think. Let's see here. Breaking free.
Like the guy get a raise to break free.
I'm just seeing how often they get a chance to get. Let's see here. Finish, obey the commands. So breaks free or is released. So I think like I don't think it's like Pathfinder where you're making a save at every round.
I think it's every time I give them order, they get a chance to resist it. And if they resist it,
an order that causes direct harm to the subject or the people who care about, or violates their code or ethics, then they get a smarts roll.
So I'm basically, they're locked into it until I drop the power or they break free.
Yeah. So.
But I have to concentrate on keeping them in there. So.
Well, and also you need to you would have to give an action to do nothing otherwise, because otherwise they will still be able to act. They don't stand around like zombies.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that they've resisted that thing, so they're just not acting. But the others, let's see here. I have 3 that are going to shoot on Bouclier. I got 1 hit and 1 hit with a raise. So Bouclier, let's see here. First one is, what is your toughness right now?
My toughness right now is 12.
12, okay. So it'll be 10 because some of that comes from armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be 10. So that first one doesn't get through. I'll spend a penny to re-roll that. Let's keep it interesting. There we go.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay, so that means you are hit with 1 wound. You want to try and soak that?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, God, where to go? Oh, the focus roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. 2. That. Okay.
Critical fail.
Oh. That's with 1 and a 1? No.
Yeah, that's critical fail.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, and also don't add the 2 in. That's already calculated in your thing. Like the.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's on your character sheet already. But okay, hold on. What the fuck happens for the critical fail?
Oops. At least I didn't get what I dropped.
Yeah, because like with normal things, I don't know if there is a penalty that comes from a critical fail on a soak, but because of the nature of your power, I think something interesting is going to happen.
And by something interesting, he means bad for you.
Yes. At least I'm probably not going to create a being that wants me to destroy the world.
That's what you think.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say, is that because of the interaction with it, you not only suffer that first wound and you are shaken, your healing power doesn't work on that wound.
Okay.
Okay. So you're hit by this thing. You are shaken currently. Let's do the second attack. This was a hit without a... this was hit with a raise. Hold on. So there we go. 10 is just on the nose, so a second shaken result would add another wound. This one you can try and soak again. So give us another focus roll.
Sure.
Try not to roll double ones this time.
That's a little better.
That one is absorbed. So
absorbed with the...
Yeah, and you are unshaken. Here's one of the nice things too. We looked this up one of the last sessions. When you get rid of your unshaken from absorbing a new wound, you get rid of whatever existing shaken there was.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you're not shaken right now, but man, that first hit, I don't know what went wrong with your absorption power, but something is fucked up. Then I've got 3 who are going to shoot Cygnus.
Okay.
Okay, so I need a -1 from your flying, +1 from their burst, so it is just a 4 I need for this. I only got 1 hit on you. No raise. 29 though. Oh,
Jesus.
And your armor is what, 16, right? It's 18.
Yeah, with the -2.
Yeah, so 16. That is 1, 2. That's 3 wounds.
Jesus.
I'm guessing you're going to want to soak that?
Yes, please, and thank you.
Okay.
These sixes explode way too often.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
I still have conviction
Yep.
that I haven't used.
Yep.
Can I activate that now for the soak or not?
Heck yeah. But even better than that, you can make the roll for the soak and then decide to activate conviction.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's do that then. Let's see what happens first of all.
Okay.
And submit.
Okay, so that gives you a 13. That would be 2 wounds you're soaking so far. Hold on, 1 success. No, you soaked 3 wounds already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
And I'm not shaking or anything, right?
You are not.
Cool.
Yeah, because you soaked all the wounds. So this one hits you. Yep. You kind of pinwheel, but you recover yourself. I then have 3 more to shoot at you, Cygnus.
Of course.
One of them hits without a raise. This is just a normal hit. 18. That's you're shaken once again.
Yep.
You can choose to what do you call it? You could choose to try and spend a penny and remove that shaken condition, or do you want the hover cars to go next?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and remove that.
Okay. Then it is so one of the upsides is because of the size of these things, they get a penalty to hit you because you're small. And let's see, here's the size chart on here. It's not. Yep. Is it on one of my little cards here? Let's see here. I absolutely love, I've mentioned this before, but the things that come in the box sets, these little cheat sheets, fucking love them. There's a raise calculator in there. There's a wound chart in there. There's common statuses. There isn't size, though. Next time. Pinnacle, next time. All right, so then I need to look at and I've justified the purchase of I got my special edition and my regular edition. I've got them open to different things right now. So that is another purchase justified.
I like the Supers companion because it's got 3 bookmarks.
Love it. Yeah.
I keep certain things bookmarked in it. I love it.
Yeah. They've started doing that on all their, the Savage Pathfinder has 3 books in it, 3 bookmarks in it too. And I don't think it's intended, but it's also the colors of the German flag. So, okay. Here we go. Size table. Ooh, mama, -4 to hit you. So,
come on.
Yeah, so here we go. So let's see here. I need an 8 to hit you with the Pulse Gatling. I'm sure there's nothing ill that's going to happen from that. So these 3 things are firing at you. Whoa, I got 1 exploding dice. Let's see. I still need to roll a 2. And I rolled a 1!
Nice.
So it comes very close. You can picture you're being peppered by these guys on the ground with their, railgun things. This thing starts firing out this hail of gunfire, and you're ducking and weaving around it, narrowly missing you. That is the end of their turn. Then Hearts comes before Diamondes. So next up will be someone we have yet to see. So from within that smoldering hole in the side emerges someone who looks like this, guys. Let me give you a handout. A handout. And me taking the time here means you're getting closer to your next Benny. Wow.
Yeah. That's what I keep thinking.
3 minutes of counting. 3 minutes of counting.
So how about them Cubs?
This is what he looks like, and you guys can each give us a common knowledge roll, please. Let's just see who knows who.
Yep. What's going on here?
Nope. So Warlock doesn't.
Submit.
Cygnus knows.
Poor man's surgery.
Okay.
Something really weird is happening to my computer right now. It's
oh yeah, we just lost you in roll 20. You just dropped out.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's every tab I clicked on disappeared.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, you're still in chat, so do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, let me. Well, it's not my turn yet, is it?
No, but I needed you to give a common knowledge roll, though.
Yes. Go ahead and roll for me. I should. Looks like I should be back up in a second.
Okay. Let's see here.
Delay tactics for the next Benny.
Exactly.
No, don't roll for me. I'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, I rolled an exploding dice for you, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
So both Bouclier and Cygnus, you know precisely who this is. This is the Alchemist. He is someone who uses, basically, if you think of like Diablo from Marvel, very similar. He's got lots of alchemy, kind of like paste pot Pete meets Diablo. Lots of entangling and all sorts of nasty shit.
Okay.
All right. So then first.
Oh, no.
He will come out. Oh, and I have such a neat power he gets to use now. So this is where he was. And then he... Let's see here. Oh, that's awesome. Let me just quickly check and see how this is going to play out for you, Bouclier.
Oops.
Okay. Oh, we lost. Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
Say we lost you. You're back. We lost you. There we go. Okay.
And I am back. So.
So
oh my God.
He comes out. He looks down at Bouclier, who again is the size of a grizzly bear when we last saw him. I think larger
Actually,
now.
a bull. Actually, a bull.
A bull now. So yeah, bigger and bigger. He spares one look over and fires something from that wrist projector, which hits the ground. And there's a spread of greenish energy. Let me make a focus roll for this guy. And he's a wild card, which means I have bennies and wild dice.
Well, that's not fair.
It's going to be so good. Let's see. Oh, and a raise.
Uh-oh.
All right. Bouclier, would you give us
I?
and is it strong?
Is what?
Holy shit. Bouclier, would you give us a spirit roll at -4, please?
Spirit. Okay. But I can use conviction after if I need to.
You can use conviction after if you need to.
Okay. Spirit roll -4.
-4.
You sure that's not a plus? Does conviction help?
If you're rolling if you're choosing to activate your conviction, you roll 1d6 exclamation mark, and we add that to the result. You're going to kind of have to hope that. Well, first off, you could spend a Benny and re-roll that.
Yeah, we'll do that. I've got lots of bennies.
Okay. So do a Benny re-roll. It's at -4.
Sorry, I can't.
And you got conviction.
I'm having to pull everything up again because I've.
Well, no, you just hit re-roll. If you hit re-roll.
Oh, okay, just you got it. Okay,
yeah, and then it'll give you.
Well, I also want to take out the ben. Yeah, I just want to take out my.
You can do that on your token.
Number of bennies. I know. I'm trying to find my token.
Oh yeah, right here. I'll shift ping for you, Robert.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Great.
Okay.
There it is.
And so that's. You want to spend another Benny? Try again.
Yes.
Okay. So re-roll -4.
-4. Come on, something explode. Not me. Okay. And conviction just as a 1d6 add, huh?
Conviction is 1d6 exclamation mark. It explodes.
I'm going to do
You still have 4 more bennies, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do one more Benny.
Okay.
And
so re-roll -4.
I should have done it on the 0-0. That's
so close.
And I will now use conviction.
Okay.
And so I roll
so roll 1d6 exclamation mark.
Okay.
/R 1d6 exclamation mark.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, so that's 6. So it's a success, not a raise. So what you feel is that there's a wave of weakness that has gone over you, and whatever was activating, whatever just triggered around you, almost deactivated most of your powers.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yep.
Okay.
Then that is it for the alchemist for his turn, and next up will be I think Bouclier. You got the queen there, so what are you doing?
So first of all, we got another Benny, right?
Only when I give it to you.
Okay. Just checking.
But yes, you're in the last half hour, so you get a Benny.
Okay. He is going to move.
Now, if you want your conviction to carry over, you're gonna have to spend a Benny for that.
Okay. He's gonna go ahead and spend that Benny.
Okay. So now you can put, the conviction button that you had on before, put that on so it'll add to all of your rolls.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you can last for the round. That's
Yeah. There it is. Okay, now it's on.
Okay.
All right, he's going to move to right there.
Okay.
And he's going to do the that medium burst template where all the stored energy basically comes out and hits the people within the medium burst template.
Yeah.
That's a power stunt. So he's spending his
for damage field.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll still have one transmute token left.
Okay.
And it looks like it does 46 damage.
46 exclamation mark.
Okay. And I don't have to roll a hit or anything.
No, you just roll for things. I mean, I think they do get an evasion for this, but that's fine. It's not great, but okay. So 13.
These things aren't that tough.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make my evasion check here. So it's agility at -2. I actually need a 6 in order to succeed here. All of them are caught in that, so you explode out, and all of these tech goons are knocked away.
But he looks over at the guy who did that, and he said, "That all you got?" The alchemist
shakes at you, telling you that is most definitely not all he's got.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Next up is yet another unseen foe. So then, let's see here. Boy, that. Okay, so there's alchemist. Mark that there. All right. I think I'm inching closer to justifying a second copy of the Superpower Companion. Because I'm flipping through a lot of stuff in here.
Have your tablet up with one.
Actually, I don't own a tablet anymore. Like, I have a tablet, but I never use it, and I'm not bothered to update. Just one of those things I've never incorporated into my,
I've gotten an iPad, and I love it.
Yeah, like when I used to, because I would draw on the computers, that's sort of what I use it for, but I just, I bet you if I had one, I might make use of it more to read stuff, but I like physical books so much that...
No, I get that.
Yeah. Okay, so then this thing, what you see come racing out is yet another supervillain.
Oh, no.
Good Lord.
This one looks like... Where is it here?
Is it Rocket? Because I'm really scared of Rocket.
Everyone can give us a common knowledge check. Let's see what you know about.
Sure.
I don't know about these fancy villains in this city.
Okay.
He's controlling two people, so it's kind of like he can't pay attention.
Okay, so Bouclier got a raise on his because of the conviction. Electron.
Fast.
So she should be really, really small, right?
This is like a Stan Lee level of scientific understanding.
All right.
So, Electron, is a flying blaster, effectively, with some really insidious tech powers. So she comes soaring out of here. Think Electro, kind of mixed with a little bit of Fixer, the tech guy from Thunderbolts. Fixer, is that what he was called? No, Techno was what he was called in that.
Yeah, Fixer was who he was, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So he comes out or she comes flying out and then sees you. I think you've just been dodging the things back and forth, Cygnus. she turns to see you, and you can see starting from those two little generators on her back, they're like really spin up, and she unleashes a lightning bolt at you.
Oh.
Let's see how well that hits. Okay, so the attack uses focus. That's a dirty trick. That's a dirty trick. All right, so she has the awareness thing, so she actually ignores your penalty from flying. So she just needs a 4 to hit you. And I hit. I'm going to spend a Benny and try and fish for a raise, which I do not get. So I just hit you, Cygnus, but this electricity plays across the surface of your armor. Let's see how much damage. It is. There's no armor piercing on it, so fortunately, that's only you're only shaken from it.
Okay.
It's not enough for a rate. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I could spend another Benny and re-roll the damage. No, so 21 is your D. You are shaken by electron. Do you want to roll to unshake on your turn and risk it, or do you want to spend a Benny and automatically unshake?
Yeah, let's go ahead and spin the Benny and automatically unshake.
Okay. So then it is, let's see here, that's it for Electron. Now it is Cygnus's turn. What are you doing, Cygnus?
All right, so I'm going to use my super science.
Okay, what do you...
I'm going to create...
So you spend that last Benny?
Yep. I gotta start killing something, man. I gotta do something.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to use it to make a melee attack on my fists.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So,
all right.
the level it would be, I think, would be
15 points. You've got. If you're using just flat out the like no bells and whistles, it could be 6d6. Oh, that's range attack. Hold on, I'm looking at wrong one here. Melee.
I think it's the max. I think it was like
strength plus 3d6.
Yeah.
And then you could also slap on
armor piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could slap on for one heavy weapon. So you could do 8 points of basically 16 points of armor piercing and 1 to make it a heavy weapon.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
So it'll be strength plus 3d6. So what are you doing then?
So he is gonna zoom down right beside that tank vehicle, whatever, and just punch the hell out of it.
Okay. Good call on the heavy weapon. Okay, so then go ahead and give us. You have +4 to hit this.
Let's see.
Because of the size.
Dang. Okay. So what is that? Fighting.
Yeah, it'll be a fighting attack.
Fighting. +4. Submit.
Remember, don't put the plus sign in.
Yep.
Okay. Hit with a raise. And
now
go ahead. And roll damage. So that'll be, what's your strength? Is 1d.
So my strength is 1d12 plus 3.
Okay. So it'll be 1d12 exclamation mark plus 3d6 exclamation mark plus 3. Let's see how that goes.
What do we say? How many d6?
3d6. 3.
3d6.
Oh, 4 actually. 4 because you got a raise.
Okay. 4d6 plus 3 on that as well, right?
Yep. So 1d. The plus 3 is at the end.
Oh, just 1 plus 3 total.
1 plus 3 total. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, Ken, 1d12. Sorry, go ahead.
1d12 exclamation mark plus 4d6 exclamation mark plus 3.
Yep. There we go. I got it.
Okay.
I think.
When we power stunt, isn't there like an edge that lets it last a little bit longer when we power stunt?
Well, he's using his super science.
And it's the same thing with you. If you use a passive power, it lasts longer using
Like
super
5.
science.
Lost
super
5,
sorcery.
yeah. And if you're
Okay,
using
that's. I thought I had that for super sorcery. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, like with a power stone, it only lasts 1 round normally for attack stuff, or 3 rounds for non-attack stuff. You could spend it's not that you spend a Benny and extend it the way you do with PowerPoints and powers in other settings in Savage Worlds. It's that you're spending it and stunting again.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a solid hit. Unfortunately, we use a shit ton of armor piercing. That is enough to do 1 wound on this thing. I need the pilot to give us a piloting check to keep control. Succeeds. I got it. Yeah. He success that. So you swang, hit this thing, and it probably actually moves to the side a bit.
That's what's up.
Okay, and then that is the end of round 2. We're on round 3. Let's quickly see how much we can get through in a second round here. All right, so Bouclier, a 6. Sickness. Joker! Everyone gets a Benny. Oh, I have terrible news for you, though. I have terrible news. No one gets a Benny because I forgot to shuffle after the last round. God dang, I'm so sorry. Here we go. But now you got 2 Jokers to get out of this. So let's see. A 4 for Bouclier. A 9 for Cygnus. It would have been great if you got that Joker again.
Yeah.
A 7 for Warlock. A Jack for the minions. Electron gets a 5, and the Alchemist gets a 9. So first for the heroes. Hands up, Warlock, you're getting a new card. I'm going to spend that Benny. Joker! Let's get a Benny. That's the same Joker, too. Hands up. Anyone else taking a Benny? Or taking a card?
No.
No?
I'll take a card. I guess you can't see me.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to spend your Benny. An 8. Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. There it is. 2.
Okay, and then I'm going to spend 1 for, if the heroes are done, I'm spending 1 for Electron. Because I can't take him with me, and I'll spend another 1 for Electron. I'm going to use any. An 8. Okay. Anyone else? Any hands up for spending Benny? No. Should I take 1 for the Alchemist? I'll spend 1 of his. Heck yeah. Nah, it's not better. Okay. So then, unless there's anyone else, Warlock, you get to choose when you want to go.
I would like to go first.
Okay, what are you doing?
Complicating the situation. I would like to power stunt the duplication power.
Okay, are you using super...
super sorcery.
Super sorcery, okay. Okay, and...
I think it'll give me 3 copies.
Copies of yourself by making a focus roll?
Yes, and I want to make sure they're equipped.
Okay, so there are, let's see here. Oh, equipped.
And no tells, so that I think that equals 15. And so they look identical to me.
Okay.
Go ahead and pop one
Let's
of those
see here.
down.
Each level creates a clone. Made a spell by... Okay, Okay, great. Okay. So then, and with... let's see here. You have 15 points to build that from. So that's going to be 6... 7 to buy it, so you could get 11. So you have 3 copies.
Yes.
Okay. So let me do this here. What I'll do is, because they're going to be extras.
So no wild cards or anything. So
yeah, but let me. But you need to give us a focus roll first.
Yes, and I plan on ordering those minions to shoot down that
let's see
float thing again.
If there's 2. Let's get that focus roll first.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm doing that.
No, because if you get double 1s, it doesn't give a shit what you plan.
Well, no, I just mean to account for the -2 offset the Joker, because I'm doing 2 actions.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Focus roll. Here we go. Focus. Come on. I would Benny that.
Okay.
There we go.
Success. Okay. So then, let's see here. Here we are. So I'm going to give you controlled by... Where are you? Warlock. Okay. And we'll know that it's you because you don't have, or your duplicate, because we know you doesn't have your bar on it.
And then, do they get to act this turn?
Let's take a look here.
Because it didn't say anything like that. So
then no.
Okay.
Okay. What is your action then? Your second action?
I was going to control those the two minions to shoot that air carrier down, just to maintain the action.
Okay.
And that's it. Maintain the action and split off into copies.
Do you need to maintain mind control?
It says I need to keep it up, but I don't know if it takes an action or not. Like, I need to continue focusing on them.
Oh, okay. Hold up. Let's quickly take a look at that.
Click on it for you, Bendwell.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, it's not posting the text. There it is.
There it is. Okay. Let's see here. Mind controller may only control one mind at once.
Oh, well then second one isn't controlled then.
Okay.
Just have to get rid of that one.
Says, okay. And terminates if you lose concentration.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I don't know. Second.
I think some of my powers work on concentration, which is they'll pop off if I go unconscious.
Yeah, like I don't know if the reason I want to look it up is because I don't know if you actually need to. I don't know if you need to spend an action to do that.
Okay.
For concentration, but let's take a look here. Requires touch, activation.
Maintain.
There we go.
Sorry, I did really complicate the turn.
Oh, it does. Hold on. If one takes single action, maybe it does require concentration. So I think actually you do need to spend an action to maintain it.
Okay. Well, that's what I planned on. Let's see. Maintain duration.
Okay. Reason being is because one of the I was just looking through for additional actions. One of the things says references concentration.
Yeah, so I can drop it as a free action and not maintain it. But yeah, I'll spend that extra action just keeping control of the one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like for the trade-off of having something else under your control, that I could see why that would require your action.
And then on her turn, shoots that thing. Hopefully, we do something.
Well, it'll be on her turn. Okay, so that is it for you. All right, and you got your duplicates. That's a cool power.
Yes.
Okay, then next up would be, it looks like the extras, right? The tech mercs. Yeah, because they're on Jack. Okay, so.
Yeah, so I imagine it's like kind of like a mirror universe when Doctor Strange does a thing and it just splinters off into three different things.
It's a super cool visual too. All right, so I got, let's see here, 3 that are shooting at you, Cygnus. Those all miss. Yeah, because the +1 is offset by that. I got 3 more that are going to shoot at you. One of those hits without a raise. So this is against your toughness. 10 is not good enough to even scuff your paint. The one that you've mind controlled is going to shoot at the ship. Misses. And then the one that is left is going to shoot at you, Warlock. So you got your force field up, but you don't have any penalty to hit you, right?
Let me double check.
Yeah, that's only...
No, this just reduces damage.
You don't have dodge or either as an edge or as a thing.
No.
Right, and you're not flying right now, so you're not going to be able to benefit from that.
Yeah.
You did say you were hiding a bit, so I'll give you a little bit of cover.
Okay.
Okay, but that is enough to hit, though.
Okay.
So I'm going to subtract... what's your 4? Oh, 6. So I'm subtracting 6 from this. No damage. So no, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, it is +3. That's in there. Yeah. So this hail of bullets fly up at you, and they all slow down Matrix style, and then tick, 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 all fall down.
Yeah. Imagine he's spreading the fire, trying to hit like all 4 of them, but it's like, which one's the real one?
All right, and then Spades comes before... Oh, no, I got the big ships, too. Mm-hmm. So that one, they're going to move a bit. So... This one is going to fire at you, Bouclier. That is a hit because it's an area effect. Damage for the Gatling laser. Let's see what that is. What is your toughness right now?
Toughness is still a 12.
Still 12, okay. It's still impressive.
Sorry, yeah. Hold on.
Okay, it's only...
sorry, it's 13.
13, okay. I thought it was high right now. Okay. Oh, and that should be exclamation mark. Sal's roll.
And he does have 2 armor, so...
Okay, so that's... so the 2 armor is reduced. I'm sorry, you said it was 13?
Yep.
So 11 against a 17. Give us a focus roll. That's 1 wound you're trying to soak.
Sure.
And I'll shoot at Cygnus with the other 2. Oh, one of those might hit. You got your conviction too. That is a success in 1 wound. So you soaked your wound and you're not shaken. 1 more absorption token. And Cygnus, I hit you without a raise. So here we go.
Nice.
Still not enough to get through your armor, I think, right?
Yep, because even with the armor piercing, it's still...
Okay, so it's rattling off of you and giving you a good distraction. Then it is Cygnus's turn. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to continue what I was doing. Just going to move right over here and punch him again because I've still got...
Still got your thing, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I still got that.
+4 to hit this because the size.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Whoop, wrong button, Will.
Go.
Fighting, go. 4, roll.
That's a hit, not a raise, though.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see here. Paste.
So it'd be 3d6 then, not 4d6. So you hit the up, remember the up arrow will repopulate with whatever your
That's
last
what
roll.
I was trying to remember what it was.
Oh, sure,
so
yeah.
Shift or control or just hit up arrow?
Yeah, just the up arrow, and then if it gives you a big code or whatnot, it's just from your last roll you use in the character sheet. Keep hitting up, it'll cycle through all your rolls.
There it is. Awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
No problem.
Oh, well, screw it.
Nice.
Throw out one of those D6. I messed up. I'm sorry.
Whoa. So even, that's still enough to shake it once again, so you need to make another, unless you want to spend a Benny to re-roll damage.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah, 6 minutes left in the
Yeah,
session.
take them with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do it right.
Yep. And here we go. Come on, big money. See some exploding dice.
There we go. That's much better.
Here we go. Come on. Ah. Boo. All right, so 20, even with the 19, that's still enough to shake it, so it's bumped. I do make a successful piloting check this time, just barely, so it doesn't go, but you do knock it back once again, so move it closer to the building. It really should have moved instead of shooting you. All right, then the alchemist is up next. So he will... he says over his thing, "Enough of this!" And he flies and lands in that thing. "We have what we want. Let's go!" And each of the... Let's see here. Then next up will be diamonds before clubs. So Electron. Actually, it's Alchemist can still do something too. Let's try and Bouclier. I'm gonna make a focus check here. I need you to give us a spirit check once again at a -4.
Lovely. Okay. Spirit minus...
Power negation is such a cool ability.
Yep.
I don't agree.
Look at that conviction roll, though. Holy smokes. 13. So once again, Bouclier, this thing hits around you, and like you just kind of wave it away. You know, you're towering over this at this point.
Yeah.
Has no effect on you whatsoever. That's amazing. All right. Then it is Electron's turn. And she is going to Zorch you, Warlock.
Oh.
Which one of me?
Well, it's not like mirror image. You created these things.
Well, yeah, but it says they all look identical to me since I use notice.
Right, but they also appear in different spaces.
Oh, okay.
If you had done that and then come in, then they have to figure out which one's you, but you've been up there winging spells down and just created a bunch of duplicates of yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it ain't like mirror image where it automatically confuses them. So she is going to try and Zorch you. So once again, the power kind of comes up from those couplings. And let's see. That is a hit with a raise.
Fine.
So that will be. Oh, should I mention now, too, guys, that villainous conviction exists in the supers world?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did I do to piss her off, though?
So I'm not spending it. And it's not to say that they don't necessarily all have it either.
I know.
So here we go. Oh, boy. All right. So 27. That's 21 with your armor down. What is your toughness otherwise?
8.
8. So she doesn't have any AP. So that'll be 8 versus 21. That's 3 wounds. You want to Benny soak that?
I would totally want to soak that.
Okay. You want to Benny that again? That
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. There we go.
There you go. All right. So you took 3 wounds. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's enough to soak all of the wounds. So you hit this, it plays across you, and you somehow manage to maybe like activate a grounding spell or something like that.
I think what happens is my images kind of like just reach out and then they bend the lightning away from the main person. Kind of just throw it off into space.
Okay. Well, I don't buy that, but then
maybe it bounces off the force field and grounds it in the building.
Yeah, that sounds more right. All right, so then Bouclier, it is your turn. You're ending our session. What are you doing?
So he's going to spend a absorption token to stunt, and that'll be his jump. And he wants to jump on top of the alchemist's vehicle and punch as hard as he can.
So to land on it is going to take an athletics check.
Okay, which is not good. I realized that, so I didn't take
You'll have to spend a Benny to maintain your conviction if you want.
Oh, I have to spend a Benny. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I would probably.
Yep.
Well, yes, I'll maintain the conviction.
Okay.
I'll attempt to jump on that. So that's an athletics check, which I realized I made a mistake in not upping again because I thought I could only do it once per advancement cycle.
You can.
Like
that's you have that right. You can only raise a skill once per advancement.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And
so give us.
All right. So I need an agility check, which at least is a D8
athletics
now.
check. Athletics check, not
athletics
agility.
Check, which is athletics check. Where'd it go? Athletics. Why can I never find it? Because it's not very good. There it is.
Okay. It'll be right after unskilled, I think.
Yep, got it.
So with conviction, that is enough. So you leap up and you land there, and let me put the thing to the back. And then go ahead and roll your big payback. Sure. Actually, hold on. Yeah, roll that because that'll be the attack. You get +4 to hit on this.
And he's using.
No, you don't. You get no modifier because of the size. Your size. It's comparative.
Oh, okay. No, I would say, but I do still have one more absorption token.
Right,
so
but remember, you can spend that afterwards, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Why did my character keep disappearing? Oh, because I don't have it popped out. There it is. Big payback. Come on, baby.
So no modifier. That is a hit with a raise. Actually, that's a raise. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm okay. Yep. And
are you spending the extra point on this?
Yes.
Okay. So do an extra d6. So roll damage and then roll 1d6 exclamation mark.
Yep.
So that's 22, 23, 24 with the conviction, and go ahead and roll 1d6 exclamation mark. Nice. 32. All right. So then
Bouchier smash.
He is, let's see, 32. There's no AP on that. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 wounds on it. Give us a 2d6 roll. No, not exclamation mark. Robert?
Nope. Yep. All right.
Oh, I forgot. You should have done this too, actually, Cygnus. Okay, so it's
What's that?
7. Give us a 2d6 roll. I want to see what's going on. I forgot because there's vehicle critical hits on these.
Oh.
Okay, so nothing sexy from yours, unfortunately, Robert, but...
Yep. Yeah, and I have no...
Oh!
Actually, could I re-roll that? Could I do a Benny to re-roll?
No, because it's not damage.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's not a damage or a trait roll.
Okay,
so then that is a hit, but you still did 3 points of damage on it, which is, unfortunately, vehicles have more wounds, and I need to make a control check on this.
Into the street.
It's a nat 1, so it is going to careen over here. Oh, I have to roll. Hold on. Actually, I got to roll an out of control. Would you give us again a 2d6 not exploding, Robert?
Sure.
6. Distracted. So this thing begins, everyone on board is distracted until their next turn. So you hit this thing, and the whole thing starts kind of spinning around in the sky. All right. Then, guys, that is where we're going to leave our hero. So anyone who has activated their conviction, make sure you leave it on your character sheet with it ticked. Those who have not spent it, make sure you've got it otherwise, because you will keep your conviction rolling until the next turn.
Yep.
What happened to Cygnus's crit thing on this thing?
With nothing. A 7 is a nothing. It's a hull hit. So then, that's it. And guys, we'll head back to the main screen here. All right, so now, because you guys are into seasoned Warlock, you get another advancement for today's session, but Bouclier and Cygnus will have to wait until a later session. So, I got that marked on our tracker. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for issue 5 of The Guard. I called it Ballad of the Boardroom Viking. We'll be back in the streets of Vancouver in 2 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you, I guess before then, if as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. And I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. All of us are active there, and we have channels there dedicated to Savage Worlds. I don't think we have one specifically for the Guard yet, but I did post the stats of the starting version of the Guard over there. I should maybe up to that today. That sounds like a good make-work project for myself. There is also channels dedicated to most other campaigns we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other great there's just a really terrific community over there. Finding a group or GM advice or talking about video games or whatever. Just great people over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an outstanding selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they do not have in stock something you're looking for, you can most often put it on a want list, and they will let you know when it comes in with an email, and you can purchase it. If you make a purchase of $10 or more, be sure to enter the code SPRINGMUSER, all caps, all one word, and you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. If you're joining us after July 1st, 2023, and then be sure to go check one of the more recent videos, and you will find an updated discount code there. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. Just goes to help out the kids who benefit from those services. And we have a couple ways of saying thank you to our donors. Starting on June 1st, 2023, we have our new round of voting for donors for the next leg of our Year of Ill Omens campaign. This is the year-long charity campaign. If you donated $10 or more since June 1st, 2023 through that link, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and you will find soon what elements you can vote on to shape our next 3 sessions of the campaign. This is actually the final 3 sessions as well. Earlier sessions have seen people vote to select the games, the settings, the specific time periods, and the types of heroes we're playing. We've had pirates in the golden age of piracy. We've had Roman legionaries in the 1st century of the Roman Empire, and we've had heroes who are kung fu mystics during the early years of the Boxer Rebellion in 19th century China. I look forward to seeing what the donors will tell us what we're playing in the last half. And if you donated $25 or more, then you get a chance to you'll have a chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes at our end of year raffle in late November. Again, all donations go directly to help out SOS Children's Villages International. And if you have any questions about that, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel of the Dungeon Musings Discord server and learn all about it there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart heroes. So, Rockin' Robert, Wonderful Will, and Jocular John, thank you so much for playing today, guys. It's just a terrific. Man, Savage Worlds does such a good job of superheroes. Like, even with the exploding dice and whatnot, it feels still very under control and very, like, the risk feels there without punishing your heroes. Right? Love this game. Yes. And love your characters as well. That Bouclier, as always, a very fascinating group of powers and Cygnus. Fascinating use of super science. You can see his frustration working itself out. And that was an awesome use of duplication, Don. I can't wait to see you using those extras to try and get at him.
I might make a habit of power stunting that and taking leadership edges. Like, go!
Yeah, those, the ones that give bonuses to extras, that'd be fucking cool. Because the downside with the extras is that you're only rolling 1 dice. So you're not.
But the upside is
no
they have all
dice.
My powers, so it's just not my bennies.
And that's a tricky thing. The difference between wild cards and the others, I think they're extra, so you might be able to spend your bennies on their rerolls, but they don't roll a wild dice. They only roll whatever your skill is. So that's awesome. Like, what a great example of how cool these these rules can be. We'll be back in the savage streets of Vancouver in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes are uncovering in relation to the mythic and the high tech in the savage world of the Guard. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.